we have this beautiful gospel passage which at its heart is very Eucharistic. In fact, if y'all have some time today, I would recommend to just go over this gospel passage and see all the Eucharistic elements that are noted here in this gospel that we live when we come to the holy sacrifice of the Mass. It's interesting because Jesus is with a crowd that is hungry. We are a starving humanity. We are seeking to have our fill because of the emptiness that is what we feel in our lives when we're honest with one another. Most of the times, the vast majority of the times, we seek to fill it. We only have to study history, but we seek to fill our emptiness with wealth, power, pleasure, love of domination, whatever it is. But we know that that doesn't truly satisfy us. And so what Jesus is with this hungry crowd, showing his unconditional love for them, he doesn't immediately perform a miracle, which is very interesting, to feed them. What does he do first? He teaches them. Just as when we come to the holy sacrifice of the Mass too, what is it that we receive first? The Word of God. That is what Jesus did with the crowd, reminding us all, starving humanity, who we are and what we were created for. We are ultimately wired for only the one who can truly satisfy us, only the one who is pure love and nothing but love, God himself. And once we are reminded of that by that word of truth, the truth of who Christ is, and the truth of who we are, and the truth of love, then do we actually physically begin to receive food. And that is Jesus in the Eucharist. Just as physical food is important for our nourishment, how much more Jesus, the bread of life, is important for, yes, our life here on earth and the life to come. That it does not end here on earth merely. And God, Jesus Christ, is teaching us that the very purpose of life is to discover and live in such a way as Jesus does, loving without counting the cost. How many of us can say we can love without counting the cost, love without any measure and without any regret the way Jesus does? That is what happiness, the happiness that comes from God and the gospel, truly consists of. In the capacity to be able to love without expecting even anything in return. Because once that condition is put, then our love is only limited and partial. Then we can set ourselves up for disappointment. We can set ourselves up for dissatisfaction. But only that love that does not have any limits to it that comes from God, when we are truly nourished by it, sustained by it, and actually live it, that is when we discover the joy of the gospel. That is what we were created for.